I've been hearing Gopal sir, he's using lot of superlative words, senior most, busiest, and things like that. So just before I start, I'll give a brief intro. I give this intro only to show to people that I am not as young as I look. Okay, I've qualified my CA in November 2007 exam. So it's going to be 2 decades since I've qualified. Okay, and I have almost 11 plus years of experience. In my career, I had taken a break of 5 years. That was for my kids. So all of you must have read in the newspapers, seen in news, lot of people have come in news channels and lot of columns have come in news, right? What is GST 2.0 for you? So he says simplification, you say decrease of rates, cost decreases, okay? Anything else? Economic reform, okay? What was it for your business? For your business, what did it happen? We will discuss that. We will discuss that, yes. That is another problem which is there. So you said, sir, cost saving. We will come to that also, whether there is actually a cost saving. If you look at real estate, 1st April 2019, there was a sea change in what it was and what it is after that. So it's what the government plays. Residential, we have made 5%. But if you actually ask the builders, they will tell you my cost has increased. It is actually increased. See, for them, for the construction industry or as a builder, majorly what has happened is cement cost has come down. Maybe transportation to some extent has come down. No, it's the same. Transportation is all the same. So it is only cement, and as he said, cement prices, they don't follow taxation. It's always a cartel. Cement, as we see, we cannot control the prices. So that you cannot do. So I don't see any big difference even for a builder, which is there. So in the name of rate reduction, at some places there is cost increase. Okay. Yes. Yes. Anything else which you think GST, what is GST 2.0? I want to understand from you, if there is something which is coming up, I'll shorten my talk. So if you want that, please tell me what it is, so I'll not get deep into this. I know that there's been a lot which has come in newspapers, and my husband is an engineer. So he talks more of GST to me than I do. So I don't prefer to talk at home about work. Because I don't talk, he thinks I don't know much about things. Yes. So anything else? Yes. Yes, I will speak about it. There is rationalization. How it will help is something I'll speak. FMCG is another sector which has lot of changes. See, one point is, yes, it is beneficial. But if you look at business, sometimes there is lot of change. So today, if there is lot of change, a businessman has to change his entire IT system also, ERP systems, communication, training, changing a lot of things in the organization. So I see FMCG is one sector which has a lot of changes which have happened. So for them to understand what further has to be done also was a big task for them. So I'll just get into, ye mere ko de do na, sir. So what happened? First is, someone said that there is rationalization of rates. Today, or when this GST 2.0 came, what did they say? They have removed 2 slabs. Which are those 2 slabs that they removed? Sorry? 28 and 12. Okay? I will show you whether 12 has gone or not. 28 has almost gone, but they created a 40. Okay? So 5% what they did. Now what they did was, see earlier, if you remember on LinkedIn or I don't know, Instagram and all of that, popcorn related, there was something which was going on GST. Plain popcorn, salted popcorn, your caramel popcorn. So there was lot of confusion. Food, whether I go to a restaurant, sit and eat, I order from my home, I go to an ice cream parlor and eat, there was no standard rate which was there. There was a lot of confusion. Today, what rate rationalization they have done, similar products, similar rate. Almost all food items have come to 5%. If it's essential, it is at 0, which is sitting at 0. Otherwise, all food items they have bought to 5%. Otherwise, it was sitting in 5, it was sitting in 12, it was sitting at 18. So we used to get a lot of money because people used to come and ask us, paratha ka rate kya hai? Ginger garlic paste, there was a person who came to me for asking what is the rate of tax for ginger paste, ginger garlic paste. I thought if I analyze one, I will get answer for everything. But it was not there. I gave him two rates. One, I don't remember, ginger paste I think was at a different rate, ginger garlic and ginger paste was at a different rate. So the same product, nothing much difference. If I look at the use also, I don't see a big difference, but the rate was different. And it took me 5 days to analyze and come at a conclusion. Okay, so that complex, the number of rates that you have, that much complex, it becomes for anyone to identify what is the tax amount that they have to pay. Today, by removing 12, what did they do? They did some logic. They said essential items I'll bring to 5, right? So that is why if you look at essential items, you had food items, healthcare, household necessities, your shampoo, soap, all of that, they've bought it here, right? 18 slab, they said standard goods and services will be 18. So all that they brought to 18. So whatever was 12, which was standard, they moved it to 18. 40% they said, I am going to have luxury and sin goods. Sin goods will be your tobacco, gutka, pan masala and all of that. Your luxury, what they have done is cars more than 1500 cc, bikes more than 350 cc. That goes to your luxury. Others remain in 18%. So with this kind of a brief, if I give tomorrow, say if someone asks you, this is my product, what it should be? As per this logic, it should be 5%. And majorly it will be that way. So now to that extent, they have tried to rationalize. Yes, still there are some ambiguities. If you were in the hospitality sector, maybe I would have told you, but because you're in construction, I don't think there's much to worry about it. Hospitality hotels that I'm talking about, there is still some confusion which is there. But otherwise, majorly they've got into this thing. One more example I'll give you, FMCG. Flavored milk. If I take normal milk, 0. Flavored milk, department is saying 12%. Industry is saying we will pay only at 5%. There are court rulings which came which said no, nothing doing, it is 5%. So now they brought it to 5%. Okay, so that kind of confusion was there. Abolition of 12 and 28. 12 May for construction sector, you will be surprised to know, or you may already know, these bricks are still sitting in 12%. Fly ash bricks, bricks of fossil meals or similar siliceous earths, building bricks, earthen and roofing tiles. These are still at 12%. We were also surprised because when that press release came, they only showed what is gone from 12 to 18, 12 to 5, 12 to 0. Only changes they showed. They never said that 12% these items are going to remain. When the notifications came, that time we saw that this is still sitting in 12%. One of my builder client called me up and asked, specifically one particular brick he asked. Now, classification is very tough. We don't know, we are not doing your business, right? I don't remember what brick he asked. Clay brick or something he asked. Mud, clay, So then we were searching where it is. Then we saw this notification. No, I don't remember which brick he talked of. Something it fell near here, earthen roofing tiles, yeah. Somewhere, I think he asked for fly ash brick only. So then 12% we told him. He was shocked. What is this? 5%. I think that's the only one which is sitting in 5. So he was shocked. He says, what is this? Modi says something, he does something. So 3 pillars, these are the 3 principles that they try to keep when they try to do this GST 2.0. There is one more case of inverted duty structure. Inverted duty structure is my output is 5%, whereas my input is 18%. So what happens? I pay more GST on my output, which keeps accumulating. Whereas when I'm paying tax to the government, I'm paying very less. So this keeps adding to my cost. So one industry which the inverted duty structure has increased is solar power. Right? So earlier they were at 5%. There was a dual rate which was there. Services, 70% of their billing was at 5% and 30 was at 18. Now that 5 has become 12. So solar industry, they are having some, it was 12, it has come to 5, sorry. So because of this, what is happening? Cost is increasing. So their rate of tax has come down, correct? When I'm selling a solar plant, earlier my rate was 14 point something. Now it's come down 9 point something. But on my input side, I'm still having costs accumulating. So that way, that's there. Classification issues they've resolved to a good extent. Rate rationalization, which we just talked, essential items 5%, sin goods go on top. Pillar 3, registration. Registration was a very big headache. Can we take it at the end? So that I'll finish off, then we'll, otherwise then sir will say, bahut lamba le liya aapne. And one more thing, no sir, I keep forgetting. So what I want to say, I will forget. Registration was a very big headache. There was one client who applied for registration. His PB was getting constructed. He wanted to import a machinery also. So the department officer said, I will not give, there is no building there. So he said, Baba, we are incurring expenses. You see my POs. I have to take credit. If you don't give me registration, how will I take? He took 1.5 months to give me registration. After 2 months, he came back and said, you have not done any business. I'm going to cancel your registration. I don't see any sales in your returns. I'm going to cancel your registration. He cancelled it. The department officer can do anything. The easiest way to cancel, on a lighter note, I tell my clients, the easiest ways to cancel your registration is don't file your returns. Automatically they will cancel. Okay, but don't do that, okay? So here, registration now they are saying in 3 days they will give. If your tax payment is not more than 2.5 lakhs per month, they will give you registration in 3 days, deemed registration. Returns filing, what they are saying is return filing over a period will become automated. Today, if you see GSTR1 is there, 3B is there. I think I told this in my talk last time also. GSTR1 is almost automated. You generate your e-invoice, one comes automatically. 3B, your input tax credit, they are saying you don't do anything. What your supplier is filing, you check whether that is correct. That only I will give you as credit. So there is something called IMS, Invoice Management System, which is going to come, which is going to get implemented very soon. So your 3B also you cannot touch. They will give you one column where you can add, subtract, do whatever, which they will question why you did this. It will be automated. So the government is looking at automating the returns. Why? Today everyone is saying GST may I have 2 due dates, 3 due dates, 4 due dates. If I have an ISD registration, this, that, all that is there, TCS, TDS and all of that. Government wants to say, you don't have to do anything for your returns. You do your business. Every day you generate your invoice. I will generate your returns. You just check whether it is correct and you click on file. They want to bring it to that level. That is what they are trying to do. Refunds, they are saying 90% of refunds we will provisionally give it without checking anything. Once you've given me all the data, you filed a refund claim for 1 crore. I will give you 90 lakhs immediately. 7 days or something is there. So I told you that inverted duty structure, no? Now shampoo you see, shampoo is 5%, whereas all his costs almost are 18%. So there's a 13% tax which is sitting accumulated. He can go for refund of that tax. So they say when you apply for that refund also, I will give you 90% immediately. After that we will check, we will question if anything has to be given back, then you pay that back with interest. If not, the remaining 10% also we will give you. So the refunds, they want to ease the refunds. See, the government is doing all of this also to attract foreign investment. So you bought in GST, but if it's so complicated, who's going to do it? No one is going to come in. So they are also projecting this in the global scenario. I don't know if someone has looked at Economic Times in the recent times. There was one entity which openly said, I think in Twitter, we are leaving India, we are moving our business out of India because customs at Chennai, they are harassing us and asking us bribes or whatever. Yes, very recently, within a week's time. So these kind of reports, and everyone says, all professionals, all business people say, this is something which everyone knows. But we are sitting and bearing with it. right? So this, I think, is not only affecting our business, it is actually affecting our country. I give a very good thumbs up to that business who actually voiced that out. So that's the way it is. Change in rate of tax. Any of your products had any change in rate? GST rates had changed? Okay, services, I don't think there's much of a change. Okay, if you are you purchasing any goods which have changed? Okay, which one, what is it? I don't think there's any big change in that. There isn't any change. So here what happens, say if you are purchasing any goods, okay, you've already placed order. This change was from 22nd September. You placed order on 15th September. The delivery came to you on 25th September or 23rd September. So what rate of tax will he apply? He would have dispatched on 20th. Okay, so there are three aspects that we have to check. Date of payment, date of sale, date of invoice. Okay, so say date of payment, you had made payment to him in advance before 22nd itself. He supplied also before 22nd. That means it's gone out of his factory before 22nd. 2 out of 3 are before. That means he will put the old rate. Okay. Second, he has given a lot and he said, you please keep it. You confirm to me after 2 weeks. So when he removed the tiles or whatever, he didn't issue an invoice. He said he just issued it on a DC, he sent it to you. You've not made payment also, right? In that case, what happens? Payment also later, invoice also later, my sale also later. Yes, so that will be new rate. So you always have to see out of these 3, 2 when it has happened. Generally in goods, it's not very difficult. If it's any service, then there is a difficulty which is there. So when there is a rate change, one aspect that you have to check, if as a supplier your rates have changed, you have to check what rate I have to charge, new rate or old rate. Very big issue was in the pharma sector, at least pharma and FMCG, wherein manufacturers were supposed to give intimation to their distributors what and all products rate has changed. But that intimation did not come timely. So people, tukka they did. They said, whatever is 12, if it's the essential item, I'll make it 5. If it isn't, I make it 18. So there were a lot of people saying, even a hospital having a pharmacy, they didn't know what to do. They had 1,60,000 line items. And he's coming to me and asking, please classify and give it to me, what is the rate of tax? It's very difficult to classify. So that was a very big issue which they faced, but still things are going on. One more thing is debit note, credit note. Say you've got tiles in before September 22nd, but later you're rejecting that. So when he sold, it was 18% GST. When you're returning it back, what will be your rate of tax that he will issue a credit note? He has to issue you a credit note. So he done 1 lakh plus 12%. Now when you're returning it is 5%. So what should be the rate? It should be the old rate only, because what you got is what you're returning. So that is a confusion which is there in the industry. So that aspect. Passing on benefit. As sir said, people are not passing on the benefit. How do we see? There were instructions from the government that people have to, the department has to monitor. They know FMCG, pharma, all these sectors, there are changes in rate. They are monitoring what were the MRP before, what it is after, what are the sale prices which is happening. They are monitoring that. There is also a national consumer helpline which was there, which was opened for people to give in complaints, and they had got 3,981 calls regarding that people are not passing on that benefit. Out of this, 69% where that GST tax cuts are not given to them. So much they said they have forwarded to the GST department saying, please look into this, that these benefits have not been passed, so that they can bring them to law. They've gone to companies as well. So is it legally required is the question. In GST, what has happened, there is no provision, okay, for them to take complaints. In GST, there's no provision. But Legal Metrology Act, they bought a notification circular. They said MRPs you should change to the extent there is a change in GST. Now, if I have an MRP and actually my cost is reduced, my GST rate is reduced, it has become 0% or from 812 it has become 5%. In that case, I actually benefit. So if I was earlier selling at 112, I should sell it 105, right? But MRP will be 112. In that case, even if I don't change the MRP, it's okay. I should sell it at 105. But say a reverse case, 12% has become 18%. In that case, my MRP is 112, but I will charge him 118. As per Legal Metrology Act, I cannot do it. I cannot charge more than MRP. So there they were having a lot of issues. So Legal Metrology, another circular came. They said, you please give notices. You put ad in the paper. That is enough. You cannot change the MRP. Imagine medicines where itna sa small it will be written MRP, where they will be able to change. That's not possible. So then finally, just 2 days before that rate change, they came up with that circular. So that's, some people said, how I will be able to change MRP? I will increase the weight of the product. So the courts have said, or the government is saying that does not work. You have to change the MRP. So till now what production is there, you change the price at which you're selling to customer, but next stock which is coming up, please ensure your MRP is updated. Don't change the grammage. So if you are giving 10 grams, don't make it 12 grams at the same price. Don't do that. That is what they were saying. So industry was facing a lot of difficulty. Small items very difficult to change, relabeling very difficult, increase in cost to be factored. So as I said, if my item was 12%, they made it 0. When it was 12, I used to get all my input GST credits. When it became 0, whatever is in my stock, I have to reverse. Plus no credits I will get. So my cost increases. In that case, actually I should increase my price. But department will come and say, 12 se 0 ho gaya. Why are you increasing your price? Right? So in that scenario, what should a businessman do? Like we talked of the construction sector also, even though from 12% it became 5 residential, but actually their costs increased, correct? Because they were not getting any input tax credit, any GST that they were paying on cement, they were not getting, sand, tiles, anything else they were not getting. Actually their costs increase. A customer will come and say, Baba, 5% GST, why have you raised your, increased your per square feet rate? What will the builder say? He has to justify that. So tomorrow when department comes, you cannot say construction cost bad gaya, I cannot do. Customer you can say. But when the department comes, all these people should actually have costing data ready. Okay, so that is what we've advised our clients. Keep your costing data ready, keep a CA certificate or a cost accountant certificate ready so that tomorrow when department comes, we will be able to justify that you have not reduced for that purpose. Of tax pricing, compensation. Okay. This is one important thing, reduction in rate. So as I said, from 12, it has become 0. Whatever I have in stock, so I purchased at 12%, I have around 10 lakhs GST credit sitting with me. But when I'm going to sell at 0. Government says, if you do not pay tax on your output, you will not get tax on your input. So whatever stock is there, whatever GST is there, you have to pay back. So if you don't have credit balance, you have to pay it using money, cash. That is what it is. So these are all the compliances which is there. There is one more cess which has gone, compensation cess. So if yesterday, earlier if you were buying a car, you got 28% GST plus compensation cess. If someone was buying coal, there was cess on that also. So cess is something they have removed. What is the benefit of removing cess? Anyway, cess I was not able to use the credit. So removing cess, now coal has become from 5 to 18. But cess is removed. That 18% I can, as a business, I can take credit. So that is the benefit which is there. Refund we've already discussed. So say shampoo if I talk of, shampoo I was earlier 18%, now 5. Say if I'm a distributor of shampoos, I purchased 1 crore stock at 18%. Now when I'm going to sell it, it's going to be 5%. There is a 13% gap. So that I can go for refund. I can say that earlier it was 18, now it is 5. That refund also they will enable. Service sector, local delivery, renting of vehicles. So earlier, renting of vehicles are 2 ways. One is, I rent a vehicle along with driver. I say I want to go from here to here. Earlier, there were 2 rates, 5 and 12. 12% they made it 18. 5 is still 5%. So 5% is where I will pay as a consumer. Okay. Next is goods transport agency. If you are transporting vehicles, if you are transporting goods in a vehicle, 2 options are there. If I'm a transporter, I will tell, sir, you pay. I'm not going to charge. I'm not registered. So you will pay at 5%. That is still there. Sometimes GTA, I will say, I have a fleet of vehicles. I want to take that credit. So I will charge you GST, sir. You don't pay. I will charge you GST. That option was also there. So in that case, I was charging 12%. Government has increased that to 18%. So if it's a builder, he will still continue to pay at 5% because it is only 5. For him, it's a cost. If you are a normal business person, you should go for 18% because if I am able to take credit of my vehicles, my service fee will be less for you. Right? So that's a change. So if you look at services, rates have increased. 12, say 18 for renting, goods transport agency is increased. Insurances, life insurance, health insurance, individually, that is become exempt. If I take group insurance, it doesn't become exempt. Goods vehicle insurance, from 18 they've made it to 5. So if you look at a goods transport agency, a person who's providing transportation, for him this cost has reduced. Yes, insurance cost has reduced. So actually he is supposed to pass on that benefit to you people. 0 ho gaya. Individual, yes. Yes. Registration we talked of. Refund also we talked. 90% they will give you the refund is what they said. GStat. So if you've got notices, you filed appeal, you got an unfavorable order, see whether you have to file appeal to the tribunal. GST tribunal has become effective. They are started taking appeals. So prepare your appeals and start filing it online. Intermediary. Intermediary is a person who takes commission. So there's a person abroad who is selling. I connect him to a buyer in India. Once that sale materializes, I get a 5% commission. Until now also, I have to pay. If I get $5,000, I have to pay GST on that. Even though I'm getting foreign currency, I have to pay GST on that. Government has realized many of these people have moved to Dubai, saying that I have to pay a lot of taxes here. I go there, I'll do the business there. They have realized that and they have changed it. They have said now this person who is earning foreign exchange need not pay GST. But that change has to happen. It will take another 8-9 months maybe because they have to amend the law. They cannot do it by way of a notification. Discounts, if you are getting any discount from anyone, is there any discount related aspect which is there? There is a change in that. Whenever, say if I have sold something to you at 1 crore and I say if you do this turnover, I will give you a 20% discount. So earlier it was that I'm supposed to have that agreement with you saying I will give you the discount. Now they say all that is not required. I will issue a credit note. You just reduce your input tax credit, it is enough. No more documentation is required. So they've reduced the documentation in case of discounts. Invoice management system is the new thing which is coming in GST. So please, if you are taking input tax credits, okay, please be aware of what is this invoice management system. This is a step, I think almost the final step towards automizing your returns. Your returns will just be auto-drafted. You just have to see, approve it. That is what it is going to be. So this is about GST 2.0. I think as a gathering, there's not much which is affecting you in this GST 2.0 when compared to the other industries like FMCG, pharma and all of that. Still, if you have any queries, do write to me. I will write back to you on that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity.